Hello again, everybody. Welcome into CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski here at Ann Arbor Huron High School, where the Lady River Rats in ladies lacrosse are going to be taking on the visiting Pioneers. Both squads are on the upswing, so stick around and we'll get you all the action on CTN's Game of the Week.
And thanks, Nick, for that intro. I'm Pete Poyer, and welcome to CTN Sports Game of the Week. We've got lacrosse on tap as the Pioneers are visiting the Huron River Rats. We've got an absolutely stunningly perfect, beautiful spring afternoon evening here for this match, and we are underway. Pioneer with the first possession, and they try and get it down into Huron territory. Quickly loses possession. Now there's a battle for it on the field. Pioneer picking it back up again. And the Pioneers head down for their first offensive effort of the match.
And Pioneers' offense is definitely something to behold. And there we go, right from the get-go, Pete. Quick goal by the Pioneers. I didn't quite get a number on that. That may have been Julia Hunter down there right in front of the net.
Well, Pioneer draws first blood. They go up 1-0 as both teams head back to midfield for another faceoff.
Confirmation there, that was Julia Hunter right there. You can see her receive that pass, make a nice little break inside, went low on the freshman goaltender of the River Rats, and quick 1-0 here for the visiting Pioneers.
We are set and back underway.
Also, for what it's worth, that is Julia Hunter's 44th goal of the season.
In goal for the Rats is Helen Schmitter.
Yeah, Schmitter's a freshman this year. And looked like she had a little bit of a tough time with that Julia Hunter shot. She might have been a little intimidated by that Pioneer offense bearing down on her the way that they were.
Whole play restarted. Huron with the play in behind the net. They try and get out front, but it's knocked down. Ball on the turf. And another whistle and a foul called. Going to stay here on possession. And stolen away by Pioneer. That offensive effort goes by the wayside for the River Rats. Another steal by the Pioneers as they bring it upfield.
And as we saw last week, Pete, in last week's Game of the Week involving Pioneer and the Skyline Eagles, Pioneer really gets into a rhythm once they get up moving.
A near shot by the Pioneers that kind of knocked away. But they'll keep possession as it started behind the net.
Pioneer offense, very patient. They can hurt you in a lot of different ways, but they're definitely going to be waiting for their main players, that Julia Hunter, to cut out in front and try to get something quick up in front of the goal mouth like that. But again, Hunter is not their only threat. Pioneer's got a lot of really strong attackers. Whitney Gallagher for one. Danielle Armstrong put a few in the net last week.
Now Pioneers lose possession, and the goalkeeper picks it up, Schmitter. That passed over the head of the Huron defender and out of bounds, so it'll be back to Pioneer for possession.
Yeah, we just scooted over Elizabeth Lachaki's head on that one. Just couldn't quite receive it. I mean, that's such a big part of this game, is not just making a good pass, but receiving it well. We see another goal by, I believe that's Tess Uhas. Tess Uhas,
and that is the
sophomore.
call. Oh, Pioneer up 2-0 here early on. 21 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the half. And back to midfield for yet another face-off.
And this is another defining part of Pioneer's game, Pete, is they're very, very good at winning face-offs. They're very good at winning the draws. And again, once that happens, they're in possession, and they can just kind of do what they need to do, moving the ball down into their own zone. If they want to go quickly and try to run up quickly in the transition, that's fine. Or they can set up that perimeter offense that they've already been pretty successful with so far.
Well, both these teams would like to win the time of possession game. Obviously, for Pioneer, it gives them more opportunities on offense. And for Huron, obviously, that would give them a chance to keep the ball away from Pioneer and keep them from running up the score, as obviously these teams are kind of at opposite ends of the win-loss scale.
No, you're definitely right about that. Again, we both know their records here: 10-3 for Pioneer, 1-7 for the River Rats. But again, you look at a coach like Zach Magis over there on the Pioneer sideline. He's been doing this for well over 11 years. This is first year coaching here at Huron for Natalie Sohaki.
Well, and as we've seen time and time again, Nick, these programs that have coaches that stick around for a while get the chance to develop their players and develop a system and get these players when they're incoming freshmen, and sometimes even be able to coach them when they're in grade school as well, to kind of develop that program and develop their system within the players that they're going to get as they move on to high school.
Yeah, right you are.
That goes for a lot of different sports, not just lacrosse.
Oh, that's any sport. That's any successful program, like you said.
Near chance for Huron there in front of the net was knocked away by Pioneer defense. So Huron will keep possession of the ball.
Solid effort there by senior Anna Connolly. That'll be Grace Kang in net for the Pioneers once again.
Now Pioneer defense doing a good job keeping the Huron attacker from in front of the net. Definitely making it difficult for Huron to even get a shot off, or at least a clean shot at least.
No, yeah, you can see Huron's offense kind of sagging in a little bit, kind of trying to push things in slowly but surely before Anna Connolly got a hold of that ball and pushed it all the way in herself, a couple of fakes. But no, you're right on. The Pioneers are doing a really nice job thus far of marking their player, staying in front, and not letting any easy, clean shots happen.
Oh, ball on the turf. Picked up by Pioneer. Now, pass was not clean. Picked up by Huron. Again, knocked to the turf.
Really nice strip there by Julia Hunter on that last time through.
Oh, Pioneer picking up the ball. So missed pass there. But again, picked up by Pioneer off the turf. Ball in behind the net. Now out front. Quick shot up high, and that's in the goal for another Pioneer goal, making it 3-0.
I believe that's Anna Muckstad on that goal on that one. I believe it was number 2. And here we can see her right out in front, kind of backing away. Didn't have a really great plant on that one, but nonetheless, when you're right out in front of the net like that, you pretty much got your option of where you want to throw it. She opted not to go low, but to stay high, and just sent that one right in past the freshman netminder. And if you're Coach Magis, you like this right now, you got 3 goals, 3 different scorers.
Oh, back for the face-off. Pioneer wins it once again, and they head quickly downfield. Pioneer set up once again. The quick pass in front, another shot, another goal by Pioneer. And that'll make it 4-0.
It's number 32, Whitney Gallagher, on the goal there. Gallagher was our player of the week last week. I think she put up a 5 spot.
Oh, off to a quick start here are the Pioneers. Really got the Riverettes back on their heels with the quick possession and score.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Huron might take a timeout sometime soon, kind of try to slow the tide a little bit. You know, get her girls together, kind of rally them a little bit, get them refocused.
Oh, the Pioneers score again here. And it's picked up by the goalkeeper that time. That may have staved off the inevitable timeout. The Huron girls really need us some possession time.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. They could go for, I mean, really what they need is a couple of successful passes. You know, something small to build on before they can move forward. I think that's been a big issue, especially coming up the field in transition. We just really haven't seen that yet.
A ball on the turf once again. Again picked up by Pioneer as they head back down to the Huron zone. Circling in behind the net. There's a pass out front. Quick shot and another score for Pioneer. And that's going to make it 5-0 in favor of the Pioneers.
I believe that's Julia Hunter once again. If I'm not wrong, that'll be her 2nd goal of the afternoon. The very early afternoon, with only 16-14 left here to go in the first half. You see Hunter, she just receives that pass nicely between a couple of River Rats and just kind of pokes it forward from there. She's just, again, great positioning. But that was definitely a situation of who wants it more right there. And she wanted it more, and she scored.
Yeah, it seems like the Huron defenders are kind of laying back a little bit, not being aggressive enough with their defense, trying to prevent not only the pass but the player position as the scorer is just cutting to the net and getting an open shot.
No, I think that's a great call. And again, the last thing you need is apprehensive defenders. You need your defenders to be decisive and as aggressive as possible.
Another play in front of the net. knocked away by the goalkeeper, but picked up by Pioneer. They'll keep the possession. There's another cutter right in front of the net. Low shot and another goal.
Really nice passing there by the Pioneers. They did an excellent job working that around. Just a couple of really crisp passes, delivered exactly where everything needed to be. And once again, when you are, I don't know, 6 yards out in front of the goal, you know, there's not a whole heck of a lot the goaltender's going to be able to do. You can see just really good, crisp passing through that one, exactly where it needed to be. A chance for her to just, all in one motion, receive that pass and then shoot low. Great job there by Whitney Gallagher once again.
Well, it really is a sign of a really experienced team to be able to do that time and time again. And with that 6th goal, we now have our Huron timeout on the field.
There it is, and there it is. And again, you knew that was coming. I believe, yep, there you can see Coach Sohaki drawing a few things up there. Honestly, she might not be drawing up offensive plays. She might be drawing up what Pioneer has been doing and telling her defenders, like, hey, this is where this is coming. This is what's going to happen next. Keep your head on a swivel and be ready for it.
Well, and try and stop that cutter from getting right in front of the net, so that they can receive a clean pass and get a quick shot off.
No, I think
because really the goalkeeper is kind of, at odds. It can't really defend that very well when the shooter is right in front of the net. No,
totally defenseless. Again, I mean they're there and then they're just left on an island when you've got those Pioneer players, those Pioneer attackers, 4 yards out, 5 yards out. I mean, again, they've got any option of what they want to do, and they've been really good at executing these shots so far. There you can see the Pioneers huddle. Coach Magis in the middle there. Again, he's been coaching varsity women's lacrosse here at Pioneer for 11 years now.
$15:45 to go until halftime. Both teams still getting instructions on the sideline. This is kind of what we expected at the beginning of this game, Nick. Kind of a, I don't want to say lopsided, but certainly Pioneer with the, dominant record over Huron's losing record. It kind of expected something along these lines.
No, you're definitely right. Again, taking a look at the two records, you can see probably where this was going to go. But again, still a lot of game left. I'm not proud to say I was on some pretty poor sports teams in my life. And one thing a coach would always tell us is like, yeah, we're down big, but there's still a lot of time left. Again, there's 15 and a half minutes in this half and then 25 in the next one. There's still a lot of opportunities for them to put some things together, score some goals, and make a game out of this one.
Absolutely.
But you're right on. Once again, I think that timeout was a sage idea to stop the bleeding a little bit and let everybody catch their breath.
Well, the River Rat players returning to the field. Pioneer still getting instruction on the sideline. Or are they just patting each other on the back so far?
Well, I really doubt that that's it. Again, when you have been doing this as long as Coach Magis has, he's not letting that going on the side, I don't believe. He's going to keep his girls focused. He's going to keep them hungry. He was actually telling me earlier in the week, last season was the first time in the last 5 years that this squad has not won their region. So he said he wants to get them back on track with that sort of winning mentality.
Certainly a good goal to shoot for.
Yeah.
Especially when you've had a track record of doing it. There's another face-off and another Pioneer possession. So the Pioneers once again going to work their offense. See if the River Rats can defend this goal a little bit better this time around.
It was like a little bit of an isolation play there by the Pioneers. Had Anna Muckstack kind of off all alone, like a LeBron type play.
Well, Pioneer once again trying to hit that cutter, and looks like Huron defended that a little bit better this time around, keeping the ball away. No goal. There was a whistle before the shot.
Yeah, whistle before the shot, but it's still advantage Pioneer.
So a foul on the Huron player. A quick pass. And the shot was knocked away by the goalkeeper, Schmitter. And another whistle.
Yeah, Schmitter got a big piece of that one, but I don't think she knew where it went after she hit it. She was kind of looking around, and the ball was kind of at her feet.
So that outlet pass that time connected. Huron was able to take it down the field.
And here you see that last opportunity for Pioneer right there. Nice up-high fake. Again, Schmitter hit, the ball went right up, directly up. I think she was looking for it, hopefully not in the net, but definitely looking for it behind her. But that guy bounced straight up.
Well, down at the Pioneer end of the field, there's a whistle and stoppage of play. They have a Pioneer foul, looks like. Huron will keep possession. There's a pass out front. Spin move. Can't get around the Pioneer defender. And Huron will back it out and try and reset. And stolen away by Pioneer.
Yeah, Huron just kind of seemed like nothing doing on that play. They just couldn't penetrate any of that Pioneer defense.
Pioneer quickly back downfield. There's a quick shot high. That one goes over the net.
Schmitter way out of position there.
There's a quick shot. And another goal for Pioneer. That'll make it 7-0.
Yeah, you can see Helen Schmitter makes that initial, well, she did make the initial stop, then just racing back to try to get into position. She just couldn't get back there quick enough. You know, you're going to probably call that a freshman mistake right there on that one. Here we can see a little bit, might have been an injury going on down here. I think it was Connolly. Looks like she might have got something in the eye, caught a stick or caught something in the eye, and she could not turn and come back upfield.
Well, midfield face-off, controlled by the River Rats this time. And another whistle. And we stop play once again. Pioneer foul. Another quick foul on Pioneer. And back underway. There's a pass out front. Knocked away by Pioneer.
Here you're really seeing that that Pioneer speed, Pete. I mean, they get that ball out in transition and they are moving quickly.
Now Pioneer, they'll swing it around behind the net. Looking for that cutter once again. And they got it in the net one more time. 8-0 Pioneer.
It was Kate Parr that set that one up.
They are scoring at will on these River Rats.
There you see, it could be Julia Hunter once again. Again, we see Parr setting that up. Like you said, see that cutter coming right in there. That's number 33 with a pretty solid reception. You know, just kind of a backhanded reception, and then again, all in one fluid, swift motion, puts that one through. And actually, I'm sorry, that was actually Whitney Gallagher with the goal on that one.
Well, Pioneer's passing has just been supreme in this match. They've really been able to connect, especially down right in front of the net multiple times, and resulting in the multiple goals that the Pioneers have scored.
And that's actually a huge point of pride for Coach Mages. He told me over and over again, they have something like their assist-to-goal ratio is extraordinarily high. And again, in a sport like this, that's really necessary. Crisp, clean passes are going to set up a lot of goals, obviously.
Well, it's going to put the opposing defense on their heels, too. Well, Pioneer controls possession once again.
Saying a lot of that.
Sound a little bit like a broken record, but you know, you got to give due where it's supposed to go, and that is definitely with these Lady Pioneers. There's another quick pass into the cutter, and another easy goal for the Pioneers, making it 9-0.
Danielle Armstrong on the goal there. And yeah, they seem to cycle that a little bit differently than some of their past plays. They were kind of, from us, they were on the far side of the net. And in less of an isolation move, again, kind of in that back corner, waiting for that cutter, waiting for that cutter to slash in that way. And there you can see Schmitter not terribly happy with that end result there.
Well, you know, when the opposing team scores as many goals as Pioneer has, it gets a little frustrating for everybody.
Sure.
Just your competitive spirit. You want to win. And
no, that's for sure. I'd be a little worried about her if she wasn't upset.
Have this kind of repetition where the goals keep repeatedly getting shot in. It's I'm sure it's frustrating for the entire River Rat team.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Pioneer with possession yet again, in behind the Huron net.
You can see the Pioneers cycling around a little bit. See if they'll start up from that top point position.
Quick shot went over the net, and that's out of bounds. See if that was tipped by a Rat player. It'll be Rat possession.
And here you really just see like no give up by the Pioneers. The Pioneers are forechecking strongly. They had two attackers all over the Huron defender trying to move the ball up court, and of course, just couldn't get through.
Oh, Pioneer gets that ball away one more time. Referee making sure everyone's set and in position. And we're back underway.
You can see the Pioneer offense really spread out there.
Now Pioneer will pick the ball back up off the turf and try and reset their offense, head back in for another scoring chance. I can certainly afford to be very, very patient here.
Yeah, no rush. And to be honest, Pete, what we're seeing is a fair amount of new faces out there right now for the Pioneers.
Oh, that scoring chance by the wayside, picked up by Huron. And the Pioneers not giving an inch on these Huron River Rats.
No, they're pouring it on. And, you know, this is one of the aspects of this crosstown rivalry is not letting up on your opponents.
Ball on the turf, fighting for possessions, picked up by Huron. And back down field goal, the Rats. Finally get a little open area to move the ball into Pioneer territory.
Let's take a quick look at that last opportunity by the Pioneers. Once again, great opportunity right out front and just doinks it off the crossbar. She can take that shot 100 more times. I don't think she does that again. And as advertised, you give somebody that opportunity a second time, they will bury it right there, right out in front, all by yourself. Again, the Pioneer offense just looks really, really good at what they're doing. You know, they're pulling Huron defenders away and creating that open spot just continually just finding that open spot right there. Now, again, you see right there the Pioneers drawing them in. Great pass, great reception. And then again, in perfect shooting positioning.
And with that, that is the 10th goal by Pioneer, giving them a 10-0 lead. And the referee has wound his arm, meaning a running clock at this point.
Indeed. Tess Uhas with number 10 right there.
So if Huron can score a goal, then that running clock will get turned off. The margin has to be 10 for a running clock.
And to be fair, I mean, the clock runs quite a bit regardless.
Yeah, probably the biggest break is between goals.
Yeah.
As they set up for the face-off at midfield. So Pioneer hunting for goal number 11.
You see the Riverettes doing a nicer job right there, marking their players and not letting anybody get open. Again, the Pioneers had a pretty nice opportunity right there, but that was made by that center hole position to receive that and still take a shot. They still had defenders right up in their face.
Well, Pioneer will keep possession. The pass out front, another shot into the goal. And that is number 11 for the Pioneers.
And I believe that was Tess Uhas who put that one in. There you can see the Pioneers working around. Again, nice pass, not to the player, but really to the area on that one. That was actually a really great job of getting that cutter to cut. So again, you know, it wasn't sent to the player, it was sent to the area, as you're supposed to do. Try to find some space. And again, it was well received, momentum going forward from Uhas, and then just finishes off for number 11. That's Uhas' third goal of the match, Pete.
You're not throwing your hat on the field?
If I had, what can I borrow yours?
No. That looked like that was a concession on the face-off as the Pioneer got the possession right off the face-off. There might have been a foul on the Huron player.
Yeah, they might have backed off a little bit after that. Because, yeah, you definitely don't want to concede possession to the Pioneers because they're just going to do something like that right there, right again.
And another goal for the Pioneers is beginning to get a little monotonous as they score their 12th. Here still in the first half. 4:35 to play until halftime.
You can see coming from the high point on that one. On that one, Pioneer player looked as if she was going to give it a little bit of a pass. Kept the ball up high in that passing position, but just kind of turned her wrist a little bit and then kept the shot up high on Schmitter.
Well, and there was a good deke move there by the Pioneer player to get the Huron defender out of position, and the Huron player just could not recover. And the Pioneer player there got a great shot on net and a goal. Oh, face off once again.
And I'm trying to think back, Pete. I'm not sure if Huron has won a single face-off. If they got one, maybe.
I think they got one, but they lost possession pretty quickly after that. And back down to the Huron zone once again.
Seemed like a little bit of physicality from Schmitter there.
You got to be careful not getting out of position again. Pioneers will get another easy one.
Yeah, I think Schmitter may have learned her lesson on that one. Again, Coach Sohaki had a lot of really nice things to say about Schmitter. But again, being a freshman, mistakes will be made. But she just talked about this young lady's attitude and how willing she is to learn from her mistakes and how hard she's willing to work in this position that she's been put in. And there you can see her right there. Yeah, nice job staying put. She might have gotten a little behind the Pioneer offensive player right there, but again, she kept with it, and good things happened for her.
Well, when the score is the way it is, those are the kinds of things you got to build on for confidence. That, you know, you can do that once means you can repeat it. And the more consistent and repeatability you get, the less goals it'll go in the net.
No, you're right on. It's definitely the little things, the little victories in matches like this. And yeah, it's definitely something that she can talk about in practice tomorrow, in practice the rest of the week. You know, like, hey, we played Pioneer and they won, but hey, remember that save I made? Or that save that I made, like, you know, really changed some things up for us. That's how you have to do it in high school athletics.
Oh, whistle and stoppage. Looked like there was a Huron foul there. Pioneer will bring it down once again. It's a minute and a half to go till halftime.
As usual, no huge rush on the Pioneers' part right here. They're just going to work it around a little bit.
Well, and this is an opportunity for them to get better at the things that they're weak at. Not that I've noticed much weakness, but certainly that they can take a chance and work on their passing game here.
Exactly, and again, you know, crisp passing is the name of the game, and you're right on, Pete. That really seems like that's what they're looking for. You know, just these solid passes around the perimeter, or the players holding it and kind of keeping their head up, making some fakes while they move around. You're right on.
Well, and I'm sure the coaching staff believes this, and the players seem to believe it too, is that there's always room for improvement.
Sure. Yeah, you don't win state regionals 5-6 years in a row by resting on your laurels or just sitting around.
Under 30 seconds to play. Pioneer trying to work it around for one more opportunity before the half. Ten seconds to go. Well, looked like Schmitter just stopped that one from going into the net. Knocked it away, and that'll do it for half number one. Once again, it was all Pioneer in this first half. They head to halftime with a 12-0 lead over the hometown Huron River Rats. We're going to take a break and be back with second half action right here on CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Well, you should do laundry every day. You should do it. I don't want to smell that.
That's way too much. Every day? How much laundry do you think I go through in a single day?
Well, at least wear clean clothes.
You should do laundry every day.
I got plenty of clothes to wear. New outfits everywhere.
Well, I'm sick of smelling you, dude. You stink, dude.
I shouldn't smell you at all. There's so many smells.
Then check and mate.
Yeah, and they have mismatch day. They had it like it's coming up or it just passed, and I thought to myself, isn't that every day for this age? I think she's mismatch day every day.
Pretty amazed by some of the clothes I put the baby in that I think are going to be cute, and then I'm like, what was I thinking?
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows.
Whoa! Cool, where am I?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers. I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand a2gov.org/watchctn.
What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community-produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
For video on demand, go to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to find your favorite show, scroll through the mini playlists, or simply use the search bar to type in the name of the program.
I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit a2gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends once I leave.
Goodbye.
Hello?
We want everyone in Ann Arbor to be safe. Which is why Ann Arbor has a law requiring drivers to be 5 feet while passing bicyclists, pedestrians, or wheelchairs traveling on the road. Most traffic lanes within the city are at least 10 feet wide, so give half a lane width of space for safety's sake. This is a good way to measure how much space is required. And if it isn't safe to pass, don't. Be cautious, be patient, and most of all, be safe.
And welcome back to the second half of CTN Sports Game of the Week. It's women's lacrosse. Pioneer visiting the Huron River Rats, and it's been all Pioneer in that first half as they lead at 12-0. Really a domination by Pioneer, Nick.
Yeah, I can't think of any other adjective to think of other than that sort of that word domination. You're right on. Against 12-0, Pioneer seems to be winning nearly every single draw. They control the offensive flow all across the way. They're just kind of doing what they want at this point.
And Huron has had a couple of opportunities, but really well defended by the Pioneer defense.
No, this is a quality squad, these Pioneers, from top to bottom.
Well, they are certainly putting it all together here on this really, really beautiful spring evening with the sun setting right down in our eyes on the campus of Huron High School. As you can see on the cameras, the sun hitting the turf. But
yep.
Couldn't ask for really nicer temperature-wise weather.
Perfect Michigan early evening. And yeah, you said it. Look, those golden hues coming down on the field there. Just glorious.
Well, we'll see if Huron can make a couple of adjustments here at the halftime break and try and get some more scoring opportunities and trying to prevent the Pioneers try and play a little bit more stout on defense.
Yeah, it really did seem like near the end of that first half, Huron was sniffing out those Pioneer cutters a little better, staying with players, and not letting the Pioneers just enforce their will every single time.
The Pioneer possession down in the Huron zone. There's a cut in front of the net. That was well defended there. Pioneer player could not get a clean shot off. Another shot and another goal by Pioneer.
Yeah,
that'll make it 13-0.
Nonetheless, the Pioneers do put yet another one into the back of the twine there. This one set up a little bit differently, though. You know, that really was made more by the player herself rather than being set up with a really good quality pass. You know, she had to slash once she received the pass. She slashed into that middle by herself rather than just being left wide alone. So I mean, again, it is the little things, as we mentioned, for these River Rats. And for what it's worth, like, they really had to work and earn that goal.
Kind of a case of the Pioneer player enforcing her will upon the Huron defender. and getting that shot off and into the net.
But again, once again, I mean, that was a contested shot. We saw so many uncontested shots by the Pioneers in that first half that that's definitely a win for the River Rats here on that one.
Well, they played pretty good defense up until that goal. They did defend it well in the first rush or attack that the Pioneers had. Kept that shooter attacker away from the net.
No, right you are, and we are seeing that a little bit more of that right here, right now. So again, whether this is the case of the Pioneers kind of switching up their offense and trying to do things a little bit different, or if it is the River Rats finally sniffing this out and figuring out exactly where they need to position themselves on D.
Oh, ball on the turf, race for possession. Will be picked up by Huron. Deep in the Pioneer zone.
That was very deftly scooped up by Kim. You know, it's worth mentioning how much time goes into early practices of the season just scooping the ball off the turf.
Well, then you got to learn a whole new way of doing it when you have a pressure by someone right on top of you trying to get that possession as well.
Exactly.
A teammate hounding you is one thing, but opposing player is something entirely different.
Right. One might have a lot worse intentions for you.
And there's a shot and a goal by Huron.
I believe that's Anna Connolly right there, senior attacker.
Oh, Huron breaks the scoreless streak and gets on the board. Makes it a 13-1 game. And for the River Rats, again, something to build on.
Right, something to build on. And again, you know, a little feather that Connolly can put in her cap. Again, the Pioneers are clearly a really good squad. You know, you're talking, you know, state championship level squad. To say that you can put one in on their netminder, that's a pretty good feeling.
Not to mention a crosstown rival.
That's not to mention a crosstown rival.
Another fight for possession here on the turf. Pioneer player finally picks it up. Pioneers will head downfield.
Armstrong earned that one.
He's being hounded by two Huron players. Oh, Pioneer back in the Huron zone. And they will set up their offense once again.
Very deliberate setup here for the Pioneers, obviously.
19 minutes to go here in half number 2. Picked up off the turf by Schmitter.
Schmitter did a really nice job of getting out in front of that. Again, she's seeing these cuts a little bit better now. I mean, again, she's seen an awful lot of them here this evening. But you're seeing Schmitter in perfect position, played that really nicely the whole way and had a really nice block there. You know, she got her stick up, she got her net up, and made the save. And I think that's really where it's going to be for Schmitter and for the Rats. Everything's going to have to start with her. She needs to call out her defense. She needs to communicate. She needs to talk to all of her teammates so that she isn't left out on the island like she was so much that first half.
Another Huron player cutting in on net. That one knocked away. Well, and frankly, the south goal is probably a little bit easier to defend at this time of the evening because the sun is actually pointing a little bit towards the north goal, just a bit. So I would think that the sun is in the eyes of the north end goalkeeper more than the south.
No, that's a great call.
Doesn't have to be much, but when the sun is in your eyes, it's going to make it that much harder to goalkeep.
Doesn't take much, you know, just a little bit of a squint or a little bit of a head shake to get that glare out of your eye, and that's all it takes.
Oh, Huron with the shot and another goal.
I believe that was number 15, Jackie Mortel, junior midfielder on that one.
And Huron with 2 unanswered.
Yeah, for what it's worth, they're winning this half. Then you can see Mortel cutting straight in, again, amongst 2 Pioneer defenders. Little spin away, and then just flips it down there. Great effort. Great effort there by Mortel. That was definitely an aspect of who wants it more. Like, you're not going to stop me, and I'm going to get this shot off.
I'm going to impose my will upon you as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we tried it your way for a whole half. Let's switch this up.
Well, and that's really nice to see. Instead of the girls quitting, being down so many goals, they really come back in the second half and are playing a lot more spirited lacrosse.
And it really is easy to give up on something like that. It's so easy to give up. But yeah, to see them keep building each other up, see them keep talking, it's been great.
Oh, Pioneer quickly down in front once again. Shot is knocked away. Pioneer will keep possession.
Helen Schmitter, once again, though, great positioning, making sure that she had that section of the net covered.
Again, a lot of the Riverettes playing much better this half. It's nice to see no give up in these Lady Rats.
No, I mean, in a crosstown rivalry like this, you're just not going to do that. You know, you don't want to give any quarter to those folks from across town.
Well, and if you scored a goal, you can talk a little smack back too.
And you know, that is something else about, you know, the women's lacrosse. Like, this isn't necessarily just always a spring sport. They'll be playing in the fall in private clubs, probably playing a little bit in the summer. So these girls are well aware of each other. And yeah, that's something you can always chit-chat them up come summertime or come next fall.
Oh, Pioneer working its offense. Working it from out front this time as opposed to from behind the net.
Yeah, the Pioneers don't want to be a one-trick pony. They want to work on every single aspect and multi-dimensional ways to attack that goal.
Pioneer looked like they were looking for a cutter there. Now they'll take it in behind the net.
But Schmitter once again stays out front and picks up that little dribbler. She looks like she's going to go deep.
Long pass downfield, trying to get it out of the offensive zone for Pioneer. Pioneer will pick it up off the turf and head back in.
You can see that play by Schmitter right there.
Another goal
right
for Pioneer.
Third away.
That's number 14 for the Pioneers. And they go back out to a 12-goal advantage, 14-2. With just over 14 minutes to go here in the second half.
It looked like Kate Parr on the goal here for the Pioneers. You can see the Pioneers coming in on transition. Not that set offense that we've seen so much of. You know, Parr just kind of came up. She's got that southpaw shot. Just went high stick side on the goalkeeper.
It looked like they caught the Huron defense kind of asleep there a little bit, kind of on their heels. Didn't really go after that attacker very aggressively.
Well, Pioneer thus far this half is really just kind of lollygagged into their offense. Like, no real sense of speed. They just kind of slowed things in a little bit. And then when Parr came in, just like a jackrabbit cutting through there, they didn't know what to do with her.
Pioneer coach has got to love all these different goal scorers too.
Oh, absolutely. To be not one-dimensional, to have so many different options on that attacking end has got to feel pretty darn good.
Oh, Huron wins the face-off. Pioneer defends it away. Huron will keep the possession. Now, Huron having a little difficulty with its passing game.
Yeah, definitely not quite as crisp as what you're seeing on the other end from the Pioneers. But step by step, they're making things work here.
Now cutting in front of the net. Now we have a whistle. So we're going to have a Pioneer foul.
Alan Reed did a really nice job of receiving that pass and then kind of working towards the center of the net, drew in a whole bunch of Pioneers. And then ended up drawing that foul.
A Huron player hits the turf. Ball right out in front. And another stoppage of play.
Looked like another opportunity for Anna Connolly there. She really seems to be their go-to attacker for the River Rats.
Well, there's the set and the shot. And defended away. Nice job there by Grace Kang in the net.
Really nice job. Really nice job of Kang staying low and kicking that one off her shin.
Oh, Pioneer rushing the net once again, and another goal for Pioneer, and that is number 15 for the Pioneers.
And just similar to their last goal, Pete, just really well done. Great passing and transition, and they use definitely superior speed to cut through and just make that goal happen.
Yeah, the Huron defense just out of position, cannot catch up with that Pioneer speed, and you know when the goalkeeper is kind of all alone like that, it's very difficult to defend that.
And Whitney Gallagher once again. And as you mentioned, that is number 15 for the Pioneers. Still 10:36 left to go in the second half, too. $15 goals equals the scoring that they did against the Skyline Eagles last week in their matchup.
Out of the referee's whistle. The Huron's going to be awarded possession. There's a errant pass. It's out of bounds. Oh, it'll be Pioneer possession. I'll try and swing it downfield. And then we'll set up once again on offense.
You were seeing a little bit more of that isolation play that Pioneer's been trying for here and there.
Pioneer trying to work it around. Looking for someone to get in front of the net. Finally do. Well defended by Huron there. Pioneer will keep possession, though.
Yeah, again, the Pioneers' speed got that cutter open, but again, Huron's dogged defense stayed with. And again, while the opportunity was there, it was well defended and no shooting opportunity.
Oh, ball on the turf picked up by Huron. A near intercept there by Pioneer. Now we have a whistle on the field. Huron will keep possession. I think Huron would probably do themselves better if they kept that possession and rushed the net instead of pulling up and trying to set up an offense. Maybe catch the Pioneer defense out of position and get a good shot off.
Yeah, seeing this play from up here, from this vantage point, I think you're definitely right about that. But, I mean, again, at this point, you know, this this game's clearly conceded. They might have been told, work into the offense, try to slow it down, get some passes, get better at what Pioneer is so great at doing.
Absolutely. Another whistle. That'd be another foul here.
There's a great slash towards the net there, though. You know, if it wasn't for that little bit of a penalty, she would have pretty much had a wide open shot at the net.
Oh, offensive opportunity here for the River Rats. There's a shot. It's up high. It's over the net.
It's a solid shot from that distance, though. She kept it high, had some good torque on it, put her body into it. I do feel, though,
6.5 minutes to play here in half number 2. Go ahead, Nick.
I do feel, though, that the Rats have had better opportunities going low on Grace Kang thus far, though.
Well, Pioneer trying to move it downfield, and another referee's whistle. And we have a timeout on the field. This had to be a Pioneer timeout as they had possession of the ball.
And I don't know if I've never noticed this before, but on a timeout, they just all drop their sticks and run to the side. I like that.
Resume their positions where they were when the timeout was called.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, there's probably an actual practical purpose for it now that you say that. So, yeah, there you go. Just reminiscent of real old-time baseball where the fielders or the outfielders, you know, they just leave their glove for the next guy. You know, here it is. There you can see Coach Mages talking his girls up right now in the huddle. Once again, probably discussing some new techniques, some things that they need to work on, some things that they'll definitely need to improve upon. And no time like the present. You know,
well, their record is 10-3, so they did lose 3 times. So obviously, once again, there's room for improvement, room for things to work on, and what would clearly be better competition at some point in time in the season.
Yeah, you can't beat game action. Game action is where your best lessons are going to come. That's where your best competition is always going to come, regardless of score outcome. Practice is practice, but a game is, you know, it is what it is there.
Yeah, it's irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both teams back out on the field after the timeout.
There you go, everybody grabbing their sticks.
Everybody back into position, and we resume play. Pioneer with the possession.
See, Kate Parr started right from the get-go, then takes the ball in behind the net.
I'm guessing that given the offensive opportunity that the Coach Mages wanted them to work on something specific here at this end.
Sure looks like it, and it seems like the Pioneers executed to perfection.
And with another goal, number 16 for the Pioneers. Well, after that little spurt by Huron where Pioneer scored the opening goal of the half, then Huron came back with 2 of their own. It's been all Pioneer.
And you see just nice pass, great reception right there by that Pioneer attacker. I believe that's Chloe Rule. Once again, just a nice job of receiving that pass, turning right on point, and having a wide open goal mouth to shoot at.
Huron with an opportunity here. There's a big swing out in front of the net and a quick flick and a quick goal for the River Rats.
Mortel once again. That was almost a play right out of the Pioneers playbook. Again, she came in, cut right up front. Again, just decided she was going to do it all herself. Got out in front, got that high shot, got that high angle with her stick, but brought it down low. Used every bit of her weight to make that goal happen.
Under 4 minutes to go here in the half and the match. Well, it was nice to see this energy out of the River Rat ladies, even if it's individual efforts on the field. Again, once again, no give up.
Right. No, again, you love to see that because, again, that was just 100% effort and attitude to make that goal happen.
Huron wins possession off the face-off. Down in the Pioneer zone once again. Heavily defended there as the Huron player hits the turf.
Yeah, Mortel definitely has a swagger about her. She seems to get that ball, and she's got a single-track mind.
Huron with possession, trying to circle out front. I'll back it out. Pioneer doing a good job defending the cutter away. Now another rush now in behind the net. Pioneer doing a good job keeping the ball away from the net.
Yeah, you're right on, Pete. The River Rat offense is very spread out, and they're not even getting the opportunity to squeeze in anymore.
There's a quick shot, and into the net for Huron for another goal.
And another low shot put by Grace Kang.
Well, I think Huron's found the weakness in Kang's goalkeeping game, keeping that ball low and getting themselves their 4th goal of the match.
And that is Jackie Mortel one more time. That's her second half hat trick.
90 seconds to play here in the match. Sun begins to set over the stands here. And a whistle. Oh, Huron's going to get possession. Foul on Pioneer. Ball on the turf. Picked up by Pioneer. Under a minute to go. Now Pioneer trying to work it downfield. Under 30 seconds now. Pioneer could just hold this if they want to, or can take one more opportunity on net.
I just don't see them just holding it without one last shot. But also,
under
what do I
10
know?
seconds. Now 5. Yeah, Pioneer will come away with a big 16-4 victory here on our CTN Sports Game of the Week. And with a big victory by Pioneer, 16-4, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more right here on CTN Sports. And welcome back to CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross, audio and replay by Jill Andrews, computer graphics by Carl McCoy, and our camera people, Jamie Chewy and Taylor Johnson. For Nick Wisniewski, this is Pete Poyer. Once again, the final from the Huron River Rats Stadium. It's Pioneer 16 and Huron 4.